Welcome back, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we're talking about something that literally everyone needs, but surprisingly few people truly master, and that is the art of conversation. We're going to move way beyond rigid grammar rules, toss out the flashcards for a minute, and look directly at practical, real-world communication. Because, if you've ever felt like you completely understand the grammar, but you still just kind of freeze up when someone actually speaks to you, well, you are in exactly the right place. We are going to build your blueprint for success.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to hit 5 key areas. First, what is a conversation? Second, the anatomy of a conversation. Third, the golden rules. Fourth, greetings and introductions. And finally, number 5, idioms and vocabulary. So, starting off with section 1, what is a conversation? The foundation of communication. Now, before we can master anything, we really have to understand what makes up a real interaction. A conversation is definitely not a monologue. It's an exchange, right? An exchange of ideas, thoughts, feelings, or information between two or more people. And I absolutely love this simple formula on the screen. Talking plus listening plus responding. So often we kind of trick ourselves into thinking that being a good conversationalist just means being a good talker. But it actively requires listening, like really listening to understand what the other person is saying, and then giving an appropriate response. If you pull out any one of those 3 pillars, the whole thing just collapses.
So why should we care? I mean, why does this matter so much? Well, we use conversation everywhere. Think about it. At school, at home, hanging out with friends, during high-stakes moments like job interviews, while you're traveling the world, or just sitting in daily meetings. Knowing how to perfectly conjugate a verb in the future continuous tense, yeah, that's great. But knowing grammar alone is simply not enough for these real-world scenarios. You actually need to know how to connect with the human being standing right in front of you.
All right, so with that conceptual foundation locked in, let's take a quick breath and shift gears. We know what a conversation is and why it's absolutely vital, but how do we actually build one from scratch?
Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of a Conversation. The 3 parts.
Let's move to the next phase and see how this builds. We're going to break down the chronological blueprint of every good conversation. Just like a great movie has a beginning, a middle, and an end, so does every successful interaction. Step 1 is the greeting. This is kicking things off politely with a simple hello or good morning. It just opens the door. Step 2 is your main discussion. This is where you actually dig into your topic, asking things like, how are you? Or what are you doing today? And finally, step 3 is the ending. You really have to close that door politely with a goodbye or see you later. Honestly, if you just follow this simple 3-step recipe from start to polite finish, you'll never find yourself awkwardly trapped in an interaction ever again.
So now that we have our 3-step anatomy in place, we really need to talk about the rules of engagement. Because having a solid structure is great, for sure, but how you behave within that structure, that is what truly determines your success.
Which brings us to Section 3, the golden rules. Active listening and clear speaking.
Okay, these are the essential do's and don'ts of communication. These are the rules that take a purely functional, boring exchange and turn it into a phenomenal, memorable one. Over on the left side, we have the ultimate conversation killers, interrupting people and mumbling. When you interrupt, you are essentially telling the other person that what you have to say is way more important than what they're saying. And when you mumble, you just make it impossible for them to engage with you. On the flip side, we have the correct behavior, waiting for your turn and actually pronouncing your words properly. It's pretty straightforward, really. Good speakers absolutely must be good listeners who speak clearly. It all boils down to mutual respect.
And that brings us to our 3rd rule, responding properly. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when things go wrong. Imagine someone asks you, how are you? And your response is, my favorite color is blue. It's kind of hilarious, right? But while it's definitely an extreme example, it hits the nail on the head. It shows exactly what happens when we don't actively listen. Bizarre, disconnected responses completely fail the core purpose of a conversation. Compare that to the right side. How are you? Answered with a simple, appropriate, I'm fine, thank you. The golden rule here, always answer the question that was actually asked.
Fantastic. So we've got our anatomy down, and we've covered our golden rules. Now, let's get highly practical. Let's figure out how to actually kick off these interactions out there in the real world.
Section 4, greetings and introductions, making a great first impression.
So how we open a conversation completely sets the tone for everything that follows, which is exactly why context is everything here. I want you to imagine yourself in these 2 very different scenarios. First, formal greetings.
You'd use these with teachers, elders, or total strangers. Things like, good morning, or how are you today? It naturally shows a bit of respect and distance. But on the flip side, we have informal greetings. These are for friends and family. Hi, or what's up? You wouldn't walk up to a brand new teacher and say, what's up, right? Just like you wouldn't walk up to your absolute best friend and stiffly say, good morning, how are you today? Mastering conversation really means knowing which tool to pull from your toolbox.
And speaking of tools, being able to introduce yourself is perhaps the most critical one of all. Take a look at this wonderful basic self-introduction from Ahmed.
Hello, my name is Ahmed. I am 13 years old. I study in grade 7. I enjoy reading books and playing cricket. Nice to meet you.
I mean, this is just a perfect little mini narrative. It gives a solid greeting, shares some basic facts, offers a fun, personal detail to spark further discussion, like reading or cricket, and ends super politely. If you can build a little script exactly like Ahmed's for yourself, you are instantly ready to make a great first impression anywhere you go.
All right, we are now moving into our final phase. You have the structure, you have the rules, and you've got your introductions down. It is time to talk about the decorations, the things that truly elevate your English skills from just functional to genuinely fantastic. Let's add those secret ingredients.
Section 5. Idioms and vocabulary. Decorating your sentences.
I get so enthusiastic about this final phase because these advanced terms add so much color, depth, and personality to everything you say. And this brilliantly illustrates why idioms are awesome. An idiom is just a phrase that has a figurative meaning completely different from its literal one. So instead of saying, I have many responsibilities right now and cannot help, you can simply say, I have a lot on my plate. It instantly paints a picture in the listener's mind. Or, if a situation is just really difficult to accept, you can call it a hard pill to swallow. If someone's keeping their plans totally secret, well, they're keeping their cards close to their chest. Literally dropping just one of these into your main discussion instantly elevates your entire conversation level.
And alongside those idioms, dropping in the right vocabulary word at exactly the right time is the ultimate proof that you are actively listening and thinking critically. Let's look at a few essential tools to add to your kit. Consider the word mollify, which means to calm or soothe an angry person. If you can listen to a friend vent about a terrible day at work and respond by saying, wow, it sounds like you really had to mollify that customer, you are proving your active listening skills are incredibly sharp. Or take the word nurture, meaning to help develop and grow. Using words like loom for a threat, oblivious for being unaware, or revere for deep respect in the right context proves you aren't just reciting boring grammar rules. You are crafting real, complex thoughts. So we've covered the definition, the three-part anatomy, those crucial golden rules, formal versus informal greetings, and the secret ingredients of idioms and vocabulary. You are officially equipped for success. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have the blueprint, who will you start your next English conversation with today? Seriously, don't just let this knowledge sit in your head. Take this structure out into the real world. Listen actively and speak clearly. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see you next time.